Center TV 15 on Facebook. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home. Stay tuned for the Splash Live. It's time for the Splash Live from Civic Center TV, featuring stories from and about people like you in the Greater West Bloomfield area. Simulcast on cable, 89.3 Lakes FM, social media, and the web. Now live from Green Media Center on Walnut Lake Road, it's the Splash Live.
Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Thank you for being here. I am your host, Kevin McIntosh. As you pass east and westbound on Walnut Lake Road here in West Bloomfield between Orchard Lake Road and Farmington, you may see construction of the new Chico Elementary making its way right next to Green Media Center. And as it looks like steel beams and bricks on the outside, on the inside, Civic Center TV took a tour to find out exactly what's in store for the new school.
The building is essentially divided up into 5 parts. They're going to be working on the building from west to east. At the far east end over there, they've started the new preschool, which will be attached to the main building. All of the classrooms are here on the south side of the building. The architect designed that purposefully to get in a lot of natural light into those rooms. And then beyond that, there's a large open concourse. And then beyond that, we have the gymnasium and cafeteria, so we'll go check it all out.
Mr. Stottlemyre started the tour inside, highlighting one of the newest features for safety and security of the students.
One of the things I wanted to mention that's nice about this building, and we're going to incorporate this into the design at Doherty, is we have these safety cubbies. It's the safety shelter for 2 classrooms. So 2 classrooms then would be able to go into these cubby rooms right here, close the door, and this becomes their safety shelter for both severe weather, and if they have a lockdown incident, they would be able to go into these cubbies and be safe.
As we continue to the second floor, Jamie shares the purpose of an extended learning space.
This here is the campfire circle. It's actually going to be an enclosed extended learning area. And that's one of the things in modern education is the kids aren't just in the classroom all day long. Learning is everywhere. So they bring them out into these extended learning spaces where they could, get 1 or 2 classrooms here together and work on lessons with the kids. So this here overlooks the main concourse, as you can see from the second floor.
We also explored the cafeteria area with a unique piece of technology installed.
So here we are in the new cafeteria. As you can see, we have a large bay window in the back. They're going to have some blackout roller shades that come down, and that's going to transform into the stage area when they need it. So this is a very bright open space. It's fairly large. They're going to have a neat piece of equipment over on that wall called the Sketch Aquarium. It's going to allow the students to sketch out fish, and it's going to import them onto the screen, and they can move the fish around on the screen and stuff. It's going to be a pretty cool feature, to provide some additional ties to the curriculum here.
At the conclusion of the tour, Jamie explains what's still being worked on and when the school will be open.
We can't go any further. Obviously, you can see the caution tape there. The steel workers are putting up the structural steel in the office area. Above the office is going to be the new eye center and STEAM lab, so they're getting that all prepped. And for safety reasons, we can't go any further. But just beyond that is the gymnasium, and beyond that, we have more classrooms and stuff. So it's kind of a mirror image of this half of the building. But we're getting we're very excited. It's moving along really well, and we're slated to be done in June. So we're excited.
I want to thank Jamie Stoudemire for that tour of the school as well. For continued updates on Chico Elementary School construction and more news from West Bloomfield School District, follow them on Facebook at West Bloomfield Schools for more information. This is your final reminder for West Bloomfield's summer reading program. Reading, activities, and raffle entries must be submitted into Beanstack by Friday, August 8th. Teens and children who reach 30 reading hours can pick up a free Lily Pad Springs pass, valid for a weekday visit in August of 2025. Don't forget, prize books and additional rewards can be picked up at either library branch through Friday, August 29th. Visit the Main or West Acres branch to claim your prizes and close out the summer with great reads and fun at Lily Pad Springs. So go to WBLIB.org for more information regarding that. Get ready for a musical afternoon at the West Bloomfield Township Public Library's Music at Main concert series, hosted by the Friends of the Library on Sunday, August 10th from 2 to 3 p.m. Experience 3 amazing Michigan-based acts in a cozy coffee house setting. No registration required, by the way. First up, we have Richard Jacobs, a seasoned singer-songwriter who masters an array of instruments like the ukulele, blending folk, blues, bluegrass, and even sea chanties, bringing families, friends, and good vibes to the main library. That's at 4600 Walnut Lake Road at Civic Center right here in West Bloomfield. That's 4600 Walnut Lake Road for Music at Main, an afternoon of community connection and unforgettable music. Once again, WBLIB.org for more information on that, Music at Main. Come celebrate at the 14th Annual Family Fun Night, hosted by the West Bloomfield School District, on Thursday, August 28th at 5 p.m. This family-friendly event is packed with games, activities, and entertainment for all ages, a true celebration of community, connection, and gratitude overall. This year, we honor our U.S. military, police, and fire heroes for their outstanding service. Bring your family, invite your friends, and join our neighbors for a night full of fun and festivities. You can go to the website of the school district, WBSD.org, or visit them on Facebook at West Bloomfield Schools for more on Family Fun Night. Young minds never stop learning. And at the West Bloomfield Township Public Library, kids now have a fun, interactive way to explore and discover. And Civic Center TV went inside the children's area to showcase a hands-on feature that's sparking creativity and imagination.
I like it's another activity to do at the library, and we did the matching game, which seemed to be the most fun, right? You matched?
Yeah.
It gives us another option. Although there's already so many options, this is just another great option to have for us.
The interactive play table offers children a chance to learn through play with activities designed to develop critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity. We asked how the interactive play table contributes to the library's ongoing commitment to creating innovative spaces for families to connect and grow.
The table has, I think, 12 different options of different games. We've got some math, some science, some geography, and it has things from toddlers up until about age 12, so a wide range.
For families in West Bloomfield, the interactive play table has quickly become a favorite feature of the library's youth services area. By combining fun and learning, it creates an enriching experience that keeps kids engaged and curious.
So it does both of those very well. There's some educational games, and it is very entertaining. The kids will want to come back and play with it more and more.
And very extremely entertaining as well. You can find yourself sitting there as an adult having a lot of fun. But to learn more about the interactive play table and other exciting programs, go to the West Bloomfield Township Public Library's website, WBLIB.org, for more. Academic pressure, social anxiety, and concerns about physical appearance may lead to teens to use alcohol as a coping mechanism. To actually, ages 11 through 18 are especially vulnerable years when friends, media, and social media environments heavily influence decision making. Joining us on the Splash Live to further explore this topic is Program Coordinator from Maple Grove Community Education, Lisa Kaplan. Thank you for being here, Lisa.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate you to come in and join us on this topic. This is very, very important, especially as we do enter the school year as well. So I just want to start off by asking you, from your experience, what are some of the common stressors you see among students right here in Greater West Bloomfield?
Yeah. So what happens in West Bloomfield happens across the country as well. Stressors involve social media, family issues, depression, anxiety, academic pressure. It's across the board.
Now, can you explain how some of those stressors actually relate to that risky behavior that we're talking about, like drinking, underage drinking?
Sure. So teens want to feel better. They don't want to feel depressed or anxious or stressed out. So many people turn to alcohol or other drugs to cope with the stress. What it does, it quickly numbs them, and then they don't have to feel what they're feeling. A better thing to do is to learn appropriate coping skills, and not all teens have them. So alcohol and other drugs are a quick and easy fix.
You know, that kind of has my mind turning a little bit as well. So we'll continue to explore that. But I do want to ask you about Maple Grove as well, and some of the how you all tailor different programs to combat this. So how does Maple Grove tailor its education programs to address peer pressure, especially amongst these teenagers?
Okay, so our community education department is available to do presentations in the community to any group that wants it.
Okay.
What I will say, though, is the Alliance of Coalitions of Healthy Communities, which is now called the Alliance, has all sorts of programming where they go into the schools and they do programs. Our Greater West Bloomfield Community Coalition funds them to come into the schools. We used to do a lot more programming in the schools and in camps and in churches and public places at Maple Grove, and that has pretty much been taken over by other organizations like the Alliance.
Okay. Thank you for providing that entire context as well. That way we're all informed about that. So getting back to the subject at hand, teenagers dealing with stressors and going to drinking as a coping mechanism. In what ways can West Bloomfield parents and just Greater West Bloomfield parents and families and schools work together to reduce this underage drinking?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the truth is, Kevin, drinking is not the biggest problem for teens these days. It's marijuana. Oh. Marijuana is the number one concern and the number one reason why teens go to substance abuse treatment programs. So it doesn't matter what drug a person is using, the issues are still the same. So parents need to not be in denial, number one. They need to have their eyes wide open, be aware of what their kids are doing, and to not normalize it, not think, oh, well, I did that when I was a kid and I'm fine now, so it's just a rite of passage. All teens do this. It is very common for teens who start using substances young to develop a substance use problem later, because when you start using before your brain is fully developed at the age of 25, you're priming your brain for addiction. So will everybody become addicted? No, of course not. But it certainly increases the likelihood that a teen will become addicted. So parents need to be on top of it, set rules and follow through with the rules, and get teens help for the underlying issues. So if there's mental health problems like depression or anxiety, address that so a teen doesn't feel like they have to self-medicate with substances.
And I'm so glad you brought that up as well, because like we said, it's not just drinking, it's other recreational drugs. And then the other question is, how are they getting access to them as well? They're underage, so how are they getting access to them? There has to be either a family member or someone else in the house or around them that's providing them as well, because they legally can't even get it. So please continue.
So when we were kids, we could get access. There are people who get it from their parents, from their older siblings, friends, who are older than them.
Yeah.
People sell it on the street, so it's very easy to, ask any teen in a high school, where can I get marijuana? And many teens will say, go to this kid.
Wow.
They know where to get it. In terms of alcohol, people, will pay someone to go buy it for them, and they'll make a little money off of it and deliver alcohol to them. Many times, teens get access to alcohol at home, also marijuana at home if parents are using. If somebody is using, they need to lock it up in a really, really difficult to break into cabinet. The police department has lock boxes that they often have given out for pills to make sure that they don't go to the wrong place. We strongly encourage families to clean out their medicine cabinets and get rid of expired or unused medications. And our local police department will take those medications and dispose of them in an environmentally safe way, no questions asked. So limiting access is really the best way to prevent use. But there's always going to be access to alcohol and marijuana.
Yeah, no, and you kept it extremely honest by saying, as when we were younger, we either knew people who had access to these even before we were able to get it. So, I mean, just putting things in that perspective, if you're thinking like a kid, you know that those are the different ways. So, like you said, as a parent, you want to talk to your kids a little bit more, kind of notice their patterns and things of that, like just stay active and in their life. And with me right here live on The Splash, by the way, program coordinator, Maple Grove Community Education, Lisa Kaplan, just talking about the different stressors teenagers and students and kids deal with and how they cope with them, which usually ends up being, unfortunately, drinking or other recreational drugs, which we're trying to prevent and be proactive with. Now, have you seen personally an increase in student reliance on substances during like maybe key transition periods, going from middle school to high school, maybe high school to college, family changes? Please talk.
Yeah, great question. So in my experience, I have noticed that the summer between 8th and 9th grade is often the time when teens start using. And why is that? They're too old for camps. They're too old for babysitters. Their parents have to work, so they're home alone. And therefore, they have access because they have contact with anybody who could bring it to them. They have social media, they have cell phones, and they can have access to whatever they want. That to me is like the most common time period that I have seen in my career of kids starting to use. My recommendation to parents is to help these incoming 9th graders find productive things to do.
Yeah.
One option is to find a place for them to volunteer where they are supervised by an adult, and the parents can pay them a nominal amount of money to make their time worthwhile.
Correct.
But that way they're doing something productive, because really the summertime is long and boring if you do nothing all day. And so it leads kids to want to look for something to do.
That's a good point. Yeah, if you have nothing going on, you're just sleeping and just getting out, and then your parents are at work. Oh man, idle mind, and I don't want to finish the rest, but it's a playground for the bad. Let's just say that. So great points as well. Now, just to be proactive before we even go into them actually dealing with these drugs and recreational things, what signs should West Bloomfield parents and educators as well look out for that may suggest that a teen is struggling with stress or substance temptation?
Yeah. So the first thing to do is to ask, how are you? Tell me honestly, are you feeling stressed? I've noticed this, I've noticed that, and give them an opportunity to get help by asking for it. But you want to be aware of all the signs and symptoms of substance use, not just what they look like. So they could be sleepy, they could be acting intoxicated. You want to look at the pupils and the whites of their eyes. You can see a lot. If the pupils are pinpointed, they're probably using opioids. If their eyes are red, it's very likely that they're using marijuana. So looking at their appearance and their behavior. But also things like, are they belligerent? Are they sleeping too much? Are they very private and secretive? Are they falling asleep in class? Are they, behaving in such a way that would alarm parents and educators. And the main thing is a change. If you know of a child who behaved a certain way and now they're behaving differently, it's something to pay attention to. Yeah. What's different and why is it different?
And I would agree, especially with teenagers. I'm a parent, but not a parent of a teenager yet. But I would imagine, like, some parents will probably just write it off as, they're just being a teenager. They're just going through their teenage phase. But this is really a time to pay attention and ask those questions like you were saying. That way you can be, you can prevent a lot of those things in those stages where they feel like they can't talk to anyone or they have to rely on those things. Hey, right. Lisa, we appreciate, continue. Please continue.
One more thing I wanted to add is I think that parents who pay for the phone should be reading text messages. Ooh. And it's because it is commonly through text messages that parents learn what's really going on in a teen's life, including substance use. And of course, the sooner you're aware of that, the sooner you can address it.
Oh, I'll give you 30 more minutes to talk about that. That is the truth. Like, if you are paying the phone bill, sometimes even if you're not, as a parent, I just got to see what you're talking about. I mean, it's just my duty. So I get it. Hey, Lisa, we thank you so much. Any additional information that we missed or any call actions people can go to if people want to find out more or get resources?
Yep. So anybody can contact me at Henry Ford Maple Grove Center, 248-661-6100 for any kind of information or help and resources in the community for their teens or themselves.
Thank you so much again, and we appreciate you. Once again, Program Coordinator from Maple Grove Community Education, Lisa Kaplan, we appreciate you again.
Okay, thank you, Kevin, for having me here.
No, it's a pleasure. And you can check out all of our other interviews with local professionals from Greater West Bloomfield on topics of mental health, physical health, even social health to some aspect and more. Visit our website, civiccentertv.com. Click on the On Demand tab for more. Volunteers of America's Michigan's Backpacks for You at the Detroit Zoo is set for Wednesday, August 13th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Detroit Zoo in Royal Oak. We actually spoke with Aubrey McFarland, CEO of Volunteers of America Michigan, to tell us a little bit more about this event.
Aubrey, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Happy to have you on as we get ready for August 13th. Operation Backpack returns in 2025 through Volunteers of America with the big event happening at the Detroit Zoo. Give us the details.
We are really excited about Operation Backpack this year. Our goal is to distribute 2,500 backpacks across Metro Detroit. And we have families who have put in submissions because they are in need of school supplies. And our goal will be to distribute about 900 of those to some of the intramural school districts. And the others will be to do a giveaway at the Detroit Zoo on August 13th. And so kids can come and get a full backpack full of all of their necessities, as well as 2 tickets to the zoo.
And so you get a fun day out with the family in those final couple of weeks before most of the schools in Southeast Michigan will get back into class. But for a lot of these families, they're able to obtain the necessities that they need, not only what's in the backpack and all those school essentials that come along with it, but also some other preschool year essentials like haircuts being available there. And Aubrey, what's great about this is that people can participate in a number of different ways, whether they are in need of these supplies or in need of those resources, or they want to help other families in the local area. So let's begin with those that want to help out. What are some of the ways that people can get involved in Operation Backpack?
Sure. So at this point, though, we have a wait list for people who are interested in picking up backpacks. But next year, you can absolutely see if you can sign up to get a backpack. And if you are in Wayne, Oakland, or Macomb County, absolutely, you can reach out to your school district and see if they have some of the backpacks that we will be delivering available. If you are a donor or a volunteer, you have until the end of the day today to make a monetary donation or supply donation if you're interested in supplying that for the backpack. But we also have a great need for volunteers. So we need volunteers to pack the backpacks and make sure that they are ready to go before the August 13th event. So if you're interested in volunteering, please contact us. Our website is voami.org. And if you throw in a / Operation Backpack, you can find all of the details there.
And that's what's really important here is that there's a lot that goes into packing these backpacks, because they are filled with school essentials, not just the backpack itself, but Aubrey, in 2025, we don't really think about some of the very basics that kids need at all different levels of schooling, maybe not as attainable as they once were in our communities.
That's right. We know that 1 in 5 kids in Michigan start school without the appropriate supplies. And if you think about walking in that first day and having that challenge of not having supplies, it really impacts your self-esteem. It impacts your trajectory for that year. And we hope to provide that spark and that light where kids can walk in and they know they've got everything they need within that backpack, the supplies they need to be able to do their homework, to be able to do their classwork, and appear to be just like all the other kids that show up with their backpacks full of supplies.
Aubrey McFarland is with us from the Volunteers of America, Michigan. Their Operation Backpack fundraiser on its way at the Detroit Zoo coming up August 13th. They do need volunteers at this time, as Aubrey had already mentioned. If you're just tuning in, there is a wait list for those that are in need of these supplies for 2025, but you can stay tuned to their website, voami.org, for more information going forward. Aubrey, I know that for Volunteers of America, this is just one of the many different donation efforts that happen all throughout the year. And not only are you helping the kids, but you're helping adults in need all throughout southeastern Michigan and around the Great Lakes state. When it comes to the kids and it comes to their needs for school, what are some other ways throughout the year people can get involved with VOA to help out if they're not able to at this time for Operation Backpack?
Great question. We have Adopt a Family that will be coming up over the holiday season. Also another way to adopt families and children and get really engaged with the organization. We have Veterans Day coming up. We are one of the largest veteran service providers in the state. And so we have availability to support veterans any day. You can help cook a meal in our kitchen for the veterans that are temporarily housed with us, but really some options to get engaged there as well. And we provide affordable housing. We have options to support seniors and maybe showing up at one of those sites and doing an activity or engaging with seniors to provide them some companionship and entertainment and integration.
And all this can be found on voami.org, including ways today, as we're recording this live on Monday, July 28th. It's the last day that you can make those financial or physical donations for this year's event. But as Aubrey had said, still plenty of time to get involved if you'd like to volunteer at the event. Again, all of that information, voami.org, and there's fundraisers all throughout the year as well, and different ways that you can purchase supplies for this particular event. Aubrey, not only do you have the backpacks being filled and being distributed in a fun day out at the zoo, but I mentioned it a little bit earlier on. There's some other activities too that will be happening at this event, even for those maybe that aren't able to pick up a backpack full of supplies. Still very necessary for some of our families as they get ready to send their kids back to school. Let us know some of the additional activities that will be available to families through your organization on August 13th.
Absolutely. One of the best activities that's going to be available will be free haircuts for kiddos. Again, something that's really great to start the new school year off is that ability to get a free haircut. And we see that our vendors are coming forward to want to participate in even more. And so I would say TBD on some of the additional activities that will be available August 13th.
And again, more information can be found on their website, voami.org. You can also follow them on Facebook at voami. Aubrey, before we let you go, anything else people should know at this time about this upcoming fundraiser or anything else coming up down the pike with the Volunteers of America, Michigan?
I would add that if you are interested in getting engaged in your community and in getting engaged with an organization that really makes a tangible impact, and you just want to see what we're about, just give us a call, check out our website, and send in an information request. We'd really love to connect with you and show you a little bit about how we create impact and get you engaged within the work that we do.
Well, we appreciate you joining us, and thank you for being with us to give us the information on this, because it is really important that we get our families ready for that first day of school. And even in communities like Greater West Bloomfield, we know we have families that struggle with having these supplies on day one and to keep them all throughout the year. So stuff like this really helpful as well. Aubrey, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And for more information on the Volunteers of America Michigan's Operation Backpack event at the Detroit Zoo, visit their website, voami.org/Operation Backpack. The Apple Island Kayak Adventure take place Thursday, August 14th from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. on Orchard Lake. We actually spoke with WB Parks Naturalist Supervisor Lauren Azuri to tell us a little bit more about this guided tour.
Lauren, great to have you with us today.
Hi, Jake. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Love hearing about these great activities that take place all throughout the summer. What inspired West Bloomfield Parks to organize the Apple Island Kayak Adventure?
Something we're very excited for, but definitely can't take full credit for. It's a big community collaboration. So we have to give credit to West Bloomfield Historical Society's amazing and passionate volunteers. They're always excited to share Apple Island, but of course it's an island. So it's hard to share an island with others when it's hard to get to it. So we kind of figured out this kayaking idea. And of course it's also in partnership with the West Bloomfield School District as they own the island, and we had to work together to make sure that we were able to allow people to come to the island, because normally it's a private island and you can't go to it without a scheduled activity. So it's a great community collaboration, and it all started with a volunteer at Apple Island Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society who wanted to share the lake and the island with people in our community.
Awesome. And yeah, all the stuff I've been hearing about this island, it is very rare for people to actually stop by the island. So any chance that people are able to check it out is incredible. What can participants expect during the guided hike?
Yeah, so it'll be a guided kayak to there. We'll talk about some of the water features. Orchard Lake is a glacial lake, so it is unique and in that type of geological feature. So we'll talk about the geology of the lake and the island together and how they partner. It is very unique to have an island that large on a lake this large and still have it this many years later. So we'll talk about the uniqueness of the geology. But once we get to the island, as a naturalist, what I'm really excited to share with people is just the lush understory. So when you hike in a lot of our trails here, the deer like to feast, and they feast on a lot of our understory, all the wildflowers and small, lower growth plants. So what I really noticed when I went to Apple Island and I was fortunate enough to get a tour was that it is just very lush. There is so much to look at and lots growing there because of the features of an island.
That's right. All incredible features over at Apple Island. You can see photos right now if you're watching on Civic Center TV right now. Now, it is important to note that the signups for this kayak trip have since closed. Signups are full, so everyone who is planning to go is set to go. But I understand that in order to be eligible to go on this trip, you needed like a good knowledge of kayaking experience in order to go on this trip. Is that correct?
Yeah, so most of our programs at West Bloomfield Parks are geared towards those who might not have tried something in the outdoors before. So we offer snowshoe rentals with instruction. We do offer kayak instruction and rentals together at our Cass Lake Marchbank Park location. But this adventure is just a little bit different. So we do require that if you were to register and join with us, that you had your own boat to come. And usually if you have your own boat, you have a little bit of kayaking experience already at that point. So it is for adults, and it is for those that have a kayak and have paddled before, just because of the uniqueness of it. And Jake, you did mention that it's full and registered, but what's really neat is that it was so well received. This was kind of a trial program. We've never offered it before, and it sold out so fast. So we're hoping that if all the details go as we plan them to go, and that it's as great as we are hoping it to be, that we will continue to offer it next summer as well.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure everyone in Greater West Bloomfield is going to love hearing about that, because I'm sure they're all going to be wanting to check out Apple Island themselves. For those just joining us right now on the Splash Live, I'm talking with park naturalist Lauren Azuri, who's talking about the Apple Island Kayak Adventure that's going to be taking place on August 14th in conjunction with West Bloomfield Parks and the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society. Now, Lauren, what is the ecological importance of Orchard Lake and Apple Island, and how would you say that's been incorporated into this event?
Yeah, so the partnership really works well because a lot of people know that the island has historical importance, right? There's indigenous information that's all about the island, which is wonderful to learn about. There's about the vacationing families and the homes that were built on the island. So there's a lot of history there, but history also goes right alongside with ecological history. So how the island has changed over time, how the island was formed. So definitely lots of ecological information and uniqueness of an island in a glacial lake. A glacial lake basically means that many years ago, it was formed from the top of a glacier tipping over and melting. So glacial lakes tend to have lots of drop-offs. They tend to be a little bit deeper, and they have these unique landforms as part of them, like an island.
Awesome. It sounds like there's a lot to take away from this experience, and it also sounds like there's going to be a lot of educational materials for participants to take away from this. Is that correct?
Absolutely. We always love when we sneak an adventure in with education. So we always try to sneak in education no matter what we do. This one, it's very obvious that people that are coming are interested in learning about the island. But any program we do with our nature education team is a unique adventure or an outdoor experience, but we always sneak in something to learn about. Because let's be honest, if you don't know about it or it's not important to you, you're not going to do anything to help it. And we know that Apple Island is always needing preservation. That's why the Historical Society and the school district partner together, and why the school district finds it so important to preserve the island and teach our students about it. Because if we don't learn about it, then there's no care there. So education is always important. So we do definitely hope that people walk away from the adventure, the kayak itself, and the hike with some fun fact that they're going to share and continue to educate and spread the word around our community.
Well, I absolutely hope that the community takes away those facts as well. And Lauren, you've touched on this a little bit, but how does this program align with the mission of connecting people with nature and the community?
Absolutely. So I think that anytime we try to decide on a program or what we want to do, does it fit our mission and vision? And the uniqueness of our community collaboration is that the school district, West Bloomfield School District, as well as the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society and WB Parks, all have similar missions of education in the public in different forms or fashion. And so I think that the education of Apple Island really aligns well with the West Bloomfield Parks mission and vision of the nature of community.
I think so as well, and I can't wait for everyone to go on this incredible trip. Last question before we wrap things up, Lauren. You said that with the popularity of how quickly things have sold out for this event, that there's going to be possibly the opportunities for other Apple Island tours in the future. Would that maybe also open up more opportunities for other water-based adventures in the future?
Absolutely. So we currently have access to Cass Lake, which is a part of our Marshbank Park, and it's a great place to explore. But we love learning more about the watershed and in our community. So Orchard Lake isn't on our property and on West Bloomfield Park's property. So this is a unique opportunity that we hope we can expand on in the future. We do a lot of programming. Our family kayak is actually on August 13th, and there are some slots available for that. So if anyone is interested in joining us for a water adventure or learning how to kayak, this family kayak does come with a boat rental, so we provide all of the equipment that you need for it. And you can find all more information and register at wbparks.org. So there's always options to join us, but we do hope to offer more of these in the future since they have been proven to be so popular.
I think that family kayak trip is going to come in very, very handy, especially for people who want to gain a little bit more experience if they want to participate in something like this in the future. So I think that's amazing. Can't wait to see what's to come in the future. Lauren, thank you so much for joining us today here in the Splash Live.
Thanks, Jake. I hope everyone gets out and enjoys nature, whether it's with us at this Apple Island adventure or family kayak or just on your own this summer. But remember, when you're out there enjoying nature, to keep it clean and make sure to clean up after yourself.
Well said. You can get more information on that Apple Island guided tour directly on the West Bloomfield Parks website. That's wbparks.org for more. At UFC on ESPN 71 in Las Vegas, Nevada, Austin Bashi overturned a previous loss to Christian Rodriguez, happened in January 2025, to earn his first UFC victory. Tapping out short notice replacement John Giannis, I don't know, but he got him out of there with a rear naked choke in 3 minutes, 39 seconds of the first round. Meaning if you went to the bathroom, you missed the entire fight. And with us on the Splash Live to talk about his victory is professional mixed martial artist Austin Bashi. How you doing, Austin?
I'm doing real good, man. How have you been? How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm going to be honest.
Good.
We interviewed, talked to you before. I can already see in your face a different glow and smile, man. I love it. So let's get your initial reactions and feelings to winning your first fight in the Ultimate Fighting Championship.
I felt really good, having my first UFC victory was very big for me, especially after coming off of that loss in January. I was been working very, very hard this last 6-7 months, and getting my first win this past Saturday feels amazing.
There it is, man. I love it. And we're going to talk about that recovery process, too, because I think that's extremely important in anybody's life to recover from or what some people would consider a loss. But the fact that you are a hometown hero right here in West Bloomfield, can you just talk about personally what it's been like to you to represent West Bloomfield on such a big stage?
Yeah, it is pretty crazy. I'm just kid from West Bloomfield High School, and after high school graduated, started in MMA, and here I am now on national television fighting in front of millions around the world watching. So it's real cool to be able to do that.
You get nervous at all before those fights and those big lights?
I mean, of course you get nerves and stuff, but as soon as the ref says to fight, kind of everything gets out the window and you're just kind of focused, tunnel vision. And, yeah.
Man, I saw the highlights too, Austin. You were about that business, and I love it. But let's go back real quick, right? This is what I wanted to touch on. You bounced back from your first professional loss earlier this year with a statement performance that you did, and congratulations again. So just talk about that mental process or just the recovery process in general that helped shape how you handled that setback.
Right, I've been competing like pretty much my whole life, MMA and a bunch of different stuff, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, and I've lost before, and it's, to me, I had the same mindset of, I just got to come back, work very hard so it never happens again, and that's what I've been doing these last 6 months since January. Just got back to the gym with my coaches and teammates. We went over my mistakes, and we've been working on it, and Saturday night got the victory.
My mans, I love it. I love to see it. And we're going to have a little bit of fun today, continuously getting to know you and your personality. But with me right here live on the Splash, by the way, UFC professional mixed martial artist Austin Bashi talking about his recent victory in the UFC as well. And I want you to correct me on some of these notes I have. Prior to entering the octagon, Bashi built a 14-1 professional record, fighting mainly in Lights Out and Dana White's Contender Series, with 6 wins by submission and 3 by TKO. Just to put a little bit perspective on my man, put some respect on his name as well. I just want to ask you, random question, your top, let's say top 4, your Mount Rushmore of fighters. Who did you look up to?
I would say John Jones, Anderson Silva, George St. Pierre, and Demetrius Johnson. Those were the 4 that are probably some of the 4 of the greatest of all time, and I've always watched them since a little kid, and till this day, there's some of them are still competing, so it's crazy to watch that.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy is somebody, I don't even watch UFC or MMA that much. I watched your fight. I watched the highlights at least, but I'm going to make sure I'm going to actually buy your next fight. But I'm not even familiar with too many MMA fighters, but some of the ones you named, like, they're so top of their class that I am familiar with John Bones Jones and Anderson Silva. You can't miss those names, so I completely get it, man. But your victory, I got to get back to that. It was incredible to see. 3 minutes and 39 seconds. Like I said, if you go to the concession stand, you missed the whole thing. Came in at under 4 minutes via submission. Talk about how your teammates, your coaches, your friends, family, just your support system helped develop what it takes to finish these fights so quickly.
Yeah, so I'm obviously here in the gym all day with my coaches, and they create a game plan for me, and we work at the whole entire fight camp. And going into fight night, we try to follow that game plan, and we got the job done in the first round.
And we love that too, man. I'll say this. As a fan, if I'm there, I want to see a good fight. I want to see somebody go down by submission or TKO or something like that. But then sometimes the fight goes so quick, you're like, oh my goodness. Like I couldn't even tie my shoes and look up and I missed the whole thing. But you did what you were supposed to do. And that's all that matters, Austin. And we love that. So I want to ask you about balancing, right? So you're on this mountain of success. You're climbing. What's it like balancing success on this global stage while trying to remain grounded around your community and in your community?
Right. So on a day-to-day basis, I'm training all morning, all night. But then after I'm done with it, I'm with my family, enjoying time with them, and just doing, just basic stuff with them. But I'm just hanging out and having a good time with them. But make sure to get all my training out the way of the day, and then after that's done, then I'll have fun.
Yeah, man, I love that. Spending time with family, I love that you said that as well, man. It's a great way for anybody to stay grounded, especially when you're climbing. You're in the big lights, the cameras are on you, and a lot of people have a lot of things to say. Just, hey, stay to the things that keep me where I am and got me to where I am as well. Now, in the future, let's look ahead. Where do you see yourself next? What's next for Austin?
I'm hoping to be fighting in the next few months, hopefully October, November, and getting another fight in. But that's right now where I'm seeing myself this week, taking the week off of the gym and then getting back to it on Monday and getting back to my routine.
Yeah. Hey, whoever's next on the card, just tell them to be ready, because I know you're going off of that momentum and that victory, man, and we all looking forward to it. Lastly, we can't leave you without you leaving a message for the people who are looking up to you. How do you hope your journey impacts the young athletes in Greater West Bloomfield who want to follow in your footsteps, Austin?
Yeah, just like I was saying, I'm just like everyone else, all you guys, just a kid and from West Bloomfield over here, and just chase my dream. I said to myself, I'm going to be a UFC champion one day, and ever since that dream I had as a kid, I've been working every day super hard for it, and here I am now, just getting my first victory inside the UFC and starting out my career. So anything you put your head into and your mind into, everything is possible.
Talk, Austin. I'm so happy for you, man. Hey, when I see you, arm wrestle challenge. I can't beat you in the fight. Arm wrestle challenge, man. But listen, thank you again, once again, UFC professional mixed martial artist representing West Bloomfield, Austin Bashi. Thank you again, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Man, we love that. Hey, you can check out the other interviews that we've done with Austin on his career path to his first victory in the UFC. It's all on the website, civiccentertv.com. Click on the on-demand tab, and you might as well just search Austin Bashi as well. Plenty more information, stories, and interviews to keep you updated with things that affect our Greater West Bloomfield community. We'll get into that soon. We are live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live. Bringing you stories and memories from Kego Harbor. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable. The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kids should know.
And now, back to The Splash, live.
Live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Thank you so much for joining us. I am your host, Kevin McIntosh. Since 1970, Michigan's senior population of 65 and older has grown from about 750,000 to about 1.9 million, nearly matching the decline in children under 18 from 3.2 million to around 2.1 million. So what does that mean for our local Greater West Bloomfield and Oakland County senior populations? We recently spoke with Senior Services Manager for West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation Commission, Bernadette Hudgens, to tell us how we're tailoring our services for our senior population. Thank you for being here, Bernadette.
Hi, thank you. I'm really glad to be here with you as well.
Yeah, I'm very, very curious about this. Aging is something that we all aspire to do. God willing, we're able to, get into an older age. But this is something that we need to pay attention to. It's saying that basically our residents in Michigan, specifically even in Oakland County, they're getting older, and our youth aren't necessarily matching that. So with Michigan's rapidly aging population, what new senior-focused programs are West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation Commission considering to better support our older adults?
Well, I will tell you, one of the things that we have a major focus on is making sure we're providing resources and services. So we just finished our Americans Community Living Act. We had a grant, and it was a wonderful grant, which was provided to us by Haley Stevens. And that grant allowed us to do some programming around nutrition, social interaction, and making sure that we're creating a space for people to feel comfortable aging in place, because that's what most people are making their preference at this point, to age in their home. So having activities for them to be able to do that.
That's an interesting.
And to get them out of the house.
Right. That's an interesting phrase that you brought, aging in place. So that's something I haven't been privy to. But as you said that, it kind of made sense. Just pretty much staying where you are, where you're comfortable, where you've grown. And most people probably already own their house and been there for decades. And why would I want to go anywhere else? And with that being said, I want to ask you about something too. Your work, possibly collaboration with other organizations. The Oakland County's Blueprint for Successful Aging is what we talked about briefly. Are you all collaborating with this blueprint to address some of this housing cost burdens and transportation, and what does that look like?
Well, our role here is to focus on the programming. So when we think about the WB Parks Connect Senior Center is about having activities and resources and information and educational opportunities for our Bloomfield residents. So our goal is to make sure that we're having things that people can get out, do, as well as get information that will help them live their best life. So again, wonderful. You have a video from one of our holiday events. So again, these are the things that we have. So we have that was one of our luncheons. We create those opportunities for people to come and socialize, meet new people. You see, we have a new cornhole kit. We've expanded our game room. So we're focusing on bringing everybody. We don't want anyone to think that it's just about women, but it's about everybody and creating space for activities.
Inclusivity, love that. And it seems like you all are, like you said, incorporating new things as well to kind of keep them moving along and feel active and engaged as well. Now, a lot of services are only accessible online as well, resources. And with that being said, there's kind of this barrier that we talked about on Civic Center TV before about technology in our senior residents. What strategies are in place to assist some of these seniors in navigating maybe some benefits or resources online, especially tackling some of those technology and online form concerns?
You know what? That's a great question, Kevin. There are so many things out there that individuals just don't know about. Like, there's actually a program that we have here in WB Parks, and we do it in partnership with the library. It's once a month. It's usually the first Monday of the month in the afternoon, late afternoon, where you can come and learn how to use your technology. That's first the number one thing, because as we all know, there's no longer a Yellow Pages. So if you want to get a contact with someone, you need to know how to access the internet to be able to do that. So that tool is accessible. There's also some other resources out online called AARP has Senior Planet, which is the online tool that people can access. And I will give you these links so when you post it, you can provide it. There's also a partnership that the state of Michigan has with another online training program, and that's it's through the state of Michigan. And those online resources provide free classes, whether it be educational or exercise classes. If you want to have a book club, if you want to participate in a book club, if you want to socialize with people, there's opportunities to do that, and you can do that online. But the challenge is if you don't understand technology and you're not comfortable with it, it would make that difficult. So we do have resources, and we're having some conversations of potentially thinking what are some more frequent classes we can have. So we're trying to figure out what that would look like.
Yeah, I know that's a big factor in just modern living nowadays, being able to navigate and utilize technology and different devices. So that's no, I mean, our senior residents aren't an exception. And I hate to say the word senior and refer to them as that, but we'll talk a little bit more about that coming up. Right now, joining me right here live on The Splash, Senior Services Manager for WB Parks, Bernadette Hudgens, talking about the growing population of older residents in Michigan, even specifically in West Bloomfield Township and Oakland County. Now, I just want to get off track a little bit, if I'm not mistaken. We briefly spoke about the terminology of seniors, if I'm not mistaken. I want you to kind of clarify this. We talked about it off camera, but let's talk about this a little bit more. A lot of people refer to them as seniors. Is this the right term to use? Are they comfortable with this, not comfortable?
I think it depends on the person.
Okay.
What I'm finding is people are living longer. And so you have 50-year-olds. Back in the day, you might have called them a senior. Oh, don't call me that. So we are thoughtful about the terms that we use, but I have had a number of people say, just call me Mary, just call me John. You don't have to put a title on me. So I think that that's just important too, to find out how someone wants to be referred to. But when you think about a group, we are thoughtful to use the word older adult. People could take offense to the word elderly. So again, just being thoughtful of making sure people feel included. And people shut up. I was talking to a sorority sister the other day, and she says, we have all these great programs, but our 50-year-olds and our 60-year-olds don't want to join because it has the term senior on it. And they're not realizing that these resources and information are helpful for them as well. So you may notice in some groups, they're getting away from the term senior or even older adults, and they're just using the age. So they may say 50 and older or 55 and above. So to not turn anyone off is to, again, the goal is to have people utilize the resources. And we want people who are younger to get the resources. And you may be aware that AARP is offering their membership to much younger population because they know that they want to inform people earlier so that you have the resources even before you need them.
Right. Yeah, and is getting ahead of it is the key of it all as well. But getting back to the whole point, yes, I just want to clarify that as well, because sometimes we put labels on people and they may or may not be comfortable with it. So addressing them directly, or at least asking them how they like to be addressed, is probably the most respectful thing. Thank you for that from your experience. Now, we have a lot of communal spaces in our area, parks, events, fitness programs. How does the township and WB Parks adapt those spaces to meet the needs of some of our older adults, as opposed to maybe the youth or even just the younger adults?
Well, it's so funny you say that, because we are constantly trying to think through how can we create spaces that are accessible to all? Because what we found is if you're focusing on making things age-friendly, you're going to capture everyone. So something that may benefit an older adult may also support a mother who has a child in a stroller. So it's all these things of how do we make our spaces more accessible to all? And actually, that's one of the investments that we recently made here at Connect. The beginning of the year, we added automated doors on the front as well as at the restroom, because our goal is to, again, include everyone and help people be able to participate. But I think that's really important, thinking about creating space and making sure that they're accessible, whether it be by wheelchair or by walker, all the things to reduce trip hazards so that people can be safe and have fun and enjoy themselves outside of their home.
Correct. Very considerate, and it's good to know that you all are making those changes and making adaptations, I should say, to different environments to help our older adult residents as well. Now, you handed me over a large packet with a lot of information regarding the older adult residents in our area and, you know, some of the information. But with that being said, given projections that Michigan will have a natural population decrease by 2050, what does this mean for future planning of senior versus youth services in West Bloomfield?
Well, this is one of the things that we're constantly keeping our eye out for, especially as we're thinking about, you know, as we're working on building our new multi-generational community center, making sure that the spaces are thoughtful to be inclusive, thinking about where do we space things, where do we put things, so that we can be inclusive and also thoughtful about larger programs, smaller programs. Where will people relax? Where will people actually want to get away to? Because since we're all going to be in one building, we acknowledge that, you know, some older adults may say, I love to see the kids in passing, but I don't want to hear them. So, okay, well, where do you put them? So all these things are important to make sure that people, again, feel like they are part of the process and that they're able to have a comfortable space.
Right. Well said. That was funny. With me right here live on The Splash, by the way, Senior Services Manager Bernadette Hudgens from WB Parks, just talking about the growing older adult population in Michigan, Oakland County, and West Bloomfield Township. Curious, building this connection between the younger residents and the older adult residents. How can younger residents in West Bloomfield contribute to and connect with the senior community through volunteer programs and maybe even intergenerational activities?
Actually, we are trying to figure out the best way to do that in our senior space. We've been talking about some kind of programming that we want to do, more programming around, you know, intergenerational activities. We currently have the Parks Children's Program. They currently have some programs this summer, actually, with Grandma and Me, Grandpa and Me. So some programs we do currently have that are either in our guide or preparing to be in the next seasonal guide around engaging with your grandparents. So I think that's one piece. So coming on out and having fun with us. Another piece is, I think technology is a great way to connect the younger population and the older population. It's just amazing how children between, you know, the age of 1, how they understand technology in a way that most people may not, only because they live their entire lives with it. And so with that being said, I think technology is a great way to keep people connected.
Nice.
And teaching the children, teaching the older folks how to use technology. And I think the best age to do that is really the ages of 11 to like 14. And then because they are just so excited that they know something that you don't know, that they're really helpful and really patient in educating their family members and friends.
Yeah, I love that. We got to build that bridge. That way the younger residents here can actually, you know, connect with them and see a little bit more of themselves in our older residents as well. Bernadette, we appreciate so much of your time. Any lasting information you want to briefly get off before we let you go?
I do. We actually are having our Connect open house, and we're doing that on August the 26th, and make sure I have my time right, from 1 to 3:30, and that will be captured in our guide. So more information to come that will be in our fall guide. We hope to see the seniors there. We're going to have all of our programmers from throughout all of Parks there, along with some of our instructors. We think that it's really important that people get a chance to know some of the resources and information that's available here at Connect. So we're really excited, and we're looking forward to seeing people on August the 26th here at Connect. Our address is 33230 West 14 Mile here in West Bloomfield.
All right. Well done. And thank you so much again for sharing that information and that insight. Senior Services Manager for WB Parks Recreation Commission, Bernadette Hudgens. Thank you again.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
And make sure you keep up with Civic Center TV on all digital platforms. Facebook at Civic Center TV 15, YouTube, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at Civic Center TV as well. And you can always find us active on our website at civiccentertv.com. I'm your host, Kevin McIntosh. We are live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.